Zevi's team has found other tombs belonging to Egypt's rich and famous. And they've just uncovered another one. Every room has something to tell us, but it's not always written down. This time, it is.
There was sand, and I had a small lamp with me, and I saw the lady.
The lady. Images of her adorn the walls of her chapel, where friends and relatives came to honor her. Her body would have been buried deeper in the tomb. When conservators uncover more of the walls, more pictures of the lady come to light. Everything suggests she was a woman with influence.
Very quickly, I understood that this tomb belongs to only a woman. This is very exceptional because this tomb is huge. So she certainly had a kind of royal favor. Moreover, she has a lot of titles showing that she was much appreciated. I was looking for a name and I found it here. The wet nurse who fed the flesh of the god.
Zevi translated her name as Maya, and he quickly learned the reason for her lofty status. In one image, Maya faced an effeminate young man wearing a pharaoh's headdress. This was the god Maya had nursed. His name was Tutankhamun, but we know him today as King Tut. King Tut has been a household name ever since British archaeologist Howard Carter made the find of the century in the Valley of the Kings. On November 26, 1922, Carter thrust a candle through a door that had been sealed for 3,000 years and got the thrill of a lifetime. He had found the burial chamber of a New Kingdom pharaoh who died before his 20th birthday. But unlike most royal tombs discovered in the past, this one hadn't been plundered. In room after room, a display of treasures beyond the imagination awaited his gaze. Tutankhamun was buried in 3 gold coffins. Inside was a solid gold mask. A golden statue of the young king stood nearby. A gilded throne showed King Tut side by side with his child bride, possibly his half-sister. Carter's discovery of Tut's tomb and all its treasures told us a great deal about the boy king's death, but there has always been a mystery surrounding his birth. He was probably the son of Akhenaten, the heretic pharaoh who worshipped only the sun instead of the traditional pantheon of gods. Akhenaten and his wife Nefertiti had 6 daughters, some of them seen here crawling on their parents, a domestic snapshot from the past. But the young Tut is never shown in the family portraits. That means his mother was probably a secondary wife who died in childbirth. The infant pharaoh would have needed a wet nurse, and apparently he got one. The Lady Maya, who was almost certainly a member of the pharaoh's inner circle.
A royal wet nurse in the 18th dynasty is not just a nanny, but is a woman of the court, because giving the milk, feeding, as it's written, feeding the flesh of the god, the king, of course not anybody can do this. What is fantastic is the feeling of love you feel between these 2 people, and especially the woman towards the king. We have the feeling that there was a big affection, yes, maybe more between the king and the wet nurse.
And, judging by the elaborate tomb that was built for her, the boy king returned that affection. While more Egyptian noblemen were buried near the Nile than anywhere else, the people who served the pharaoh on the fringes of the empire also required tombs, even if they were stationed in the middle of the desert. Dr. Zahi Hawass is Egypt's head of antiquities, the man in charge of all things ancient. He's on his way to the oasis of Bahariya, a 5-hour drive from Cairo. For thousands of years, the oasis has been an island of greenery in a sea of sand, and it's not much different today, except for the modern village that's replaced the ancient settlement.